And good morning from South Victory. I'm Jason Whiteley. You know, Dallas's suburbs seem to be getting many of the big corporate relocations. Toyota's move from California to Collin County is just one example. So what is Dallas doing wrong? Well, City Council hired a firm from Austin to find out. And Councilman Tennell Atkins talked about the next steps with me and Bud Kennedy from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Councilman, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Suburbs seem to be getting all of the big corporate relocations. What is Dallas doing wrong?
I think Dallas need to market Dallas. We always talk about marketing the region. I think the mayor made a good statement. Mayor Johnson said at the State of the Union, we do not have
the state address.
State address, right? Yeah. State of the Union.
State of the city address.
State of the city address.
State of the Dallas.
Where am I? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, State of the city address. And he said, we do not have a mayor for DFW. There is not a mayor for DFW. You know, there's a mayor of Dallas, there's a mayor of Grand Prairie, there's a mayor of Carpel. So we need to worry about Dallas, Texas.
So Dallas goes in, and the city decided to hire a company, an economic development company or an economist down in Austin, Angelo Economics.
Right.
What did you want this company to give to the city, and what do they provide so far as outlook?
I think they provide a background that I think we already knew, you know, about wages, about that we need to be public-private partnership. In order to grow the city, you got to take public and private developer work together. But one thing they show is that we need our education. You know, we kind of lacking in workforce readiness right now. We know those things, but I think they show us that we need to brand the city of Dallas. We need to focus on the city of Dallas.
And one of the things that we talked off stage just a moment ago was Dallas is in the dark ages because the city doesn't have its own economic development organization, office, independent office.
Well,
is that setting the city back?
You look at that two ways. Are we in the dark ages? I think not. I think that we look at public-private partnership. I think we look at Redbird Mall, for example. You know, we just got UT Southwestern going south, Parkland Hospital movement over there. But it took public-private partnership to do that. But I think that to move forward, we got to look at all options. You know, if we need to have an economic development separate from the city of Dallas, we got to look at how they're going to be funded. You know, probably looking at roughly about $50 million, where the money going to come from. You can't do that overnight. So you got to look at both options.
You know, Fort Worth did its study 2 years ago. One of the things that came out is that, you know, here it is, Dallas-Fort Worth is about to be the third largest metro in the country, fourth now. But, you know, nationally and globally, people did not think either Dallas or Fort Worth was as big as it is. And Dallas didn't implant itself in people's minds except for the people in Europe that'd seen the TV show a lot. You know, what does Dallas need to do to spread its word?
Well, you just said one thing, you know, Dallas it's not branded, it's not marketed, but if you go to South Africa, you go other part of the country, they said Dallas, they talk about JR. That's a brand, that's a marketing too. So we need to market the city. We got great core asset, but we're not marketing our core asset.
You've got J.R. Ewing and the Cowboys, and it's been a while since there's been a new.
Well, you know, we got the hotel, one of the best hotels. We own the hotel here. People come. You know, we got the deck park. You know, one of our Roger deck park.
Once they get here, yeah, they remember it indeed. But let's talk about the timeline, because all this kind of started to roll out, and then we had a change on council. A bunch of new people were elected on council. So what happens next with all this?
What happens next is, number one, that when you have a new council coming forward, you got to have their input. You know, they got to be part of the input, the new mayor. We are the policymakers, so we got to let the city manager, the community got to have input in there to let them know what do we need to see. You know, what might work in my district might not work in Climbing district. But what we need to do is see what tools we need to put in the toolbox. And we have not had the opportunity, you know, with the new councilman, have the opportunity to say, what do we need?
How badly is this needed? How badly does Dallas need a plan to move forward with economic development?
In order to be in the top 5 city in America, I think we need to look at all options. We need to find out how do we fund it, but we got to be sure that we're not a tale of two cities, the north and the south.
Where are we right now? Are we in top 10?
And we in the top 10, probably lower tier, you know, probably between that 6, 7, 8, but we want to be, you know, in that top 5.
You're going to do your study. It's going to come back and say what Fort Worth said, high-paying jobs. What does Dallas need to do to bring more high-paying jobs?
You know, we always talk about education, DISD. You know, we got to have great education, but we also got to look at how do we use our tools in the toolbox to lure the people here, the public-private partnership. Remember back in Uptown, you know, back in 1988, we didn't use a public-private partnership. Look at it now. But we use those tools in the toolbox, and we need to invent more new tools in the toolbox in order to grow the city of Dallas, especially the tax base. We cannot live with 85% of the tax base coming north and 15% on the south. You know, we got to bring east, west, north, and south together.
But you know, the city has struggled, and different mayoral administrations have struggled to figure out how to revitalize South Dallas, the southern sector, and they haven't been able to figure it out. Do you think an outside firm might be able to point the city in the right direction?
I think it's not so much the outside firm. I think it's so much as the leader. You know, we have Mayor Johnson there, you know, who you need a city, you need a state, you need a federal government. You know, you just can't do it the city alone because you had all those tools in order for the outside to come in. But the Mayor Johnson not outside, so he understands the tools that we need. And I think that's what he said in his state address is, number one, we got to work together. We can't rush it, but we still got to work what we got in hands today.
What's the timeline again, though? Do you hope to have something by next quarter?
Hopefully by the end of April.
The end of April?
Yes.
And that's a plan to move forward with the city?
That's a plan if my colleagues and the city manager agree on something. You know, it's taking a majority to get it done, and we hope we get it done. But then, too, it's still a whole lot of work, a whole lot of homework over the Christmas holidays.
We're going to bring you back and see how it's going, too.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Bye.